Hello everyone, it's OJ from OJ Online. Good to see you guys again. And today I'll be doing the camera review of the Realme GT Neo 2T. First, I'll be talking about the camera specification. I'll be talking about the camera app. I'll be sharing some picture and video samples, and then finally I'll give my overall thoughts about the camera of this phone. So getting right to the camera specification. The main sensor is a 64 megapixel OmniVision OV64B sensor. The phone also has an 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel macro lens, and a 16 megapixel selfie camera. Talking about frame rate and resolution, the phone can shoot up to 4K at 60 fps and can do 960 fps slow motion at 720p. Going into the camera app. The camera app is simple and what we have come to expect from Realme. You have your selfie flip button for switching between the selfie and main sensor. You also get a dedicated night mode. You have your video mode for taking videos. You also get the photo mode. Then there's also the portrait mode. A dedicated mode for taking 64 megapixel shots. Then you have more for more camera shooting options. Under more, you have the dual view video mode for taking shots with both the front and the back camera simultaneously. Then you have a movie mode. Here you can set the stabilization and other manual settings, and it also supports the ultra wide lens. Going back to more, you find the pro or expert picture mode, and it also supports the RAW format, and you can also set various other parameters. It also supports the ultra wide lens, as you can see here. Going back to more, you also find that you have your slow-mo mode or slow motion mode. It's currently set to 960 fps. But going to settings, you can also change the video resolution. Tapping on the FPS counter here, you find a slider for switching the FPS for slow motion. You have 240 FPS and 480 FPS, and finally you get 960 FPS for ultra slow-mo or at a lower resolution. Then the selfie camera also supports slow motion. Moving back to the main camera options, like I said earlier, you have your dedicated portrait mode, you have your photo mode, of which you get AI beautification. There's a AI retouching slider and you can switch that, as you can see. You also have your zoom. You can zoom from 1x to 2x to 5x and back to 0.6x for the ultra wide lens. Moving to settings, you find several options on your settings menu, and importantly, you find that you can change the video resolution. The phone supports 4K at up to 60 fps, but the ultra wide lens does not support 4K 60. You also get the option to turn on or turn off the HDR or simply leave it on auto. You have your AI mode for scene recognition and enhancement, and you also have filter options, quite a number of them depending on your personal preference. I'll simply leave that on original. Just below the AI button, you'll find this drawer. Here you can change the frame of your shot or set the timer for the camera. Moving on to stabilization, you have two major stabilization options. You have the first level, which is the ultra steady mode, then you have the ultra steady max. I suspect the ultra steady max mode crops in on the ultra wide lens, so the footage is not as good as that of the ultra steady mode. You also have the option of setting the level of bokeh effects you want on your portrait shots. Then you have your AI color portrait and several other filters. So next we'll be checking out some camera samples. So there you have it, guys, the camera samples of the Realme GT Neo 2T. I was able to capture some really nice pictures and video samples. You can also hit me up in the comments, let me know what you think about some of those shots. So my conclusion about the camera of this phone: I feel like the main sensor of this phone performs really well in terms of the picture quality, in terms of details, and most especially in good lighting conditions. You'll find that the pictures have lots of details and have very vibrant and nice colors, especially with AI scene recognition on. The same goes for videos in good lighting conditions. The video had good details, vibrant colors, and the autofocus was also good. But a major weakness I noticed about the phone, especially in terms of the video, was that the phone had issues with white balance. I noticed this white balance problem. It's not quite consistent. Sometimes while shooting videos on the same scene, the white balance on auto shifts to warmer tones, other times it's cooler tones. Then another major issue with the camera system of this phone is the ultra wide lens. The ultra wide lens does not really perform well in low light. In fact, it's not really advisable to use the ultra wide lens if you know you don't have good lighting. The ultra steady stabilization mode performs really well, but the ultra steady max stabilization mode performs poorly. That is probably because it uses the ultra wide lens instead of the main sensor, so it doesn't perform well at all, especially in low light. Just like I said, the ultra wide lens is not great for low light at all. But overall, in terms of the quality of the pictures, I got some really nice shots. I was able to get some great AI color portraits and some other nice portrait shots like this one right here with the phone. So overall, it's a great camera system you get with the Realme GT Neo 2T. You can really take some great shots, some really nice pictures. The only thing I wasn't really impressed with about this camera is the low light performance, especially using the ultra wide lens. Apart from that, I feel like it's a great camera system overall, and I'm sure most of you will be impressed by the results that you get using this camera. So So with that, I come to a conclusion of my camera review of the Realme GT Neo 2T. You can hit me up in the comments, tell me what you think about some of the shots and videos I shared using this camera. Hit that thumbs up button if you found anything interesting about this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more review or tech videos like this. I'll catch you on the next one. This is OJ Online signing out.